It is January 28th, and I want to talk to you guys about websites. I think websites are a very important thing to have for your personal brand or business. It's a vital aspect of marketing and branding. A lot of people will look online for reviews and for information on your product or service, and they do that by looking on websites. So if you don't have a website, then you're missing out on a lot of potential clients that may find you on there. So if maybe your sales are a little bit down, or you're starting up a business, I highly recommend that you do go ahead with getting a website. It should be a no-brainer on the marketing plan of things. So let's get going with it. I am going to say beforehand though that there are some steps of this that you can do yourself to save yourself a little bit of money, or you can hire a professional to do it, of course, such as myself. But I'm going to show you the steps, and I'll keep it up to your decision if you want to do it on your own or not. So step number one would be to find a domain. Not a hard thing to do. To do that, you can go onto a site called GoDaddy.com. These guys are around. They're pretty. They've been around for quite a while now, and they're very well established. Their site is good for searching for domains. On the front page, you can search for a domain, and it'll tell you right away if it's available or not. And you can purchase it on there. So let's get into what kind of domain you should get for your business. Now, a lot of people think that they have to put keywords into their domain. The benefits of this is probably very little compared to other tactics, search engine optimization. So I wouldn't really focus on getting all the keywords in your domain name. I would focus on getting a domain closest to your business name. So for an example, let's do Tom's Pizza, and that's the business name. So if I'm Tom, and my company's name is Tom's Pizza, and I'm looking for a domain, I want a domain that has my name in it. Pretty common name there, so that domain is probably taken, but let's do the scenario where it's not taken. So let's do Tom's Pizza.com, and it's available. GoDaddy will have a check mark that says your domain is available. Perfect. Buy it. That's the best one you can get for that. It has your name right in there. Your customers will love it because it's easy. They're going to remember it because they're going to remember your name. It's a very good thing to have for branding. And the other good aspect of it is when you get a domain, you're going to get a email as well. Some people wonder how they get those custom emails, not the tom@gmail.com, but the tom@tomspizza.ca or .com, and that's how you get it. Is you have to have the domain to have that kind of email. So, and GoDaddy will also offer you to get the domain for email as well, and I would recommend that you get that. So you're also going to get, and you can customize this part. You could get Tom, or you could get contact, or you can get info, whatever you want, and it's going to be tom@tomspizza.com. Again, buy it. So those ones, that's what I would really recommend for you to get a domain. The second kind of domain you could get for the same name, Tom's Pizza, is let's say Tom's Pizza is located in Toronto, Canada. You could go Pizza Toronto .ca, or if Tom's Pizza is taken, you could add Tom's and have Tom's Pizza Toronto.ca, But then you're getting pretty long with the domain. Again, that's not a bad domain, and adding the location in there will help with local SEO later on. But again, it's not a huge, I wouldn't spend a lot of time trying to put little keywords in there. I would just have your company name, and that way you can just have it easy for clients to remember, and it looks better for branding. So that is Tom's Pizza Toronto, or you can look for other things with your name in it, you know, things like that. But tomspizza.ca or .com would be your best bet. So that is the step to search and purchase your domain. On to step number 2. And step number 2 would be hosting. You need to purchase hosting. Now, hosting is kind of like buying a house for your domain. You need to pay your dues to be on Google or on search engine, pretty much on the internet. So, and you're paying for space on a server, pretty much. That's what it is. So, hosting, you can either get at, again, GoDaddy, and it'll actually ask you if you want hosting when you buy the domain as well, and I suggest that you probably just get it then, because it's easier in one package. And the hosting on GoDaddy is pretty good nowadays. You know, it's going to run you probably 10 to 15 bucks a month, just for basic hosting. So it's nothing too expensive. And I'm sorry, I forgot pricing for domains. Domain, you're going to spend anywhere between probably 10 bucks and 20 bucks as well. And the range depends on the extension that you get for your domain. Nowadays, there's, you know, hundreds of domains you can get, but the .ca and .com, I'd keep it at that. So anyways, getting back to hosting. Hosting, like I said, costs you 10-15 bucks a month for basic hosting, and most sites will be okay on that. But however, if you find that your website is kind of running slow, skipping out, crashing, stuff like that, you definitely don't want that happening. It is A, bad for your clients, and B, bad for SEO. Google hates when your website is slow. They want kind of a page turnaround of 3 seconds or less. So you want good hosting. But like I said, basic websites are going to be okay with basic hosting, but if you have an e-commerce or a deeper type of website with maybe members, or maybe you're doing a product launch and you're expecting a ton of visitors to your website, you might want to upgrade. And you can upgrade to even a personal server. And that'll probably cost you around 100 bucks per month, depending on exactly what you upgrade to and all that. And, you know, GoDaddy and all that's going to tell you exactly what that's offering you, how many visitors can go on, when it's going to about crash and all that. But when you get a personal server, you're pretty safe for whatever. For example, a lot of people that go on Shark Tank or Dragon's Den make the mistake of not upgrading their server before they go on there, because when they go on there, everyone's searching online about their product, and a lot of those guys who go on there, their websites crash and they lose out on sales because of that. So if you're gonna, and that's the same thing with a product launch or a service launch or something, when you get a lot of attention, upgrade it. And you can just upgrade it for a couple months even, and if it's going to die down in a couple months, then you can go back down to spending the cheaper amount. Now I do want to, because GoDaddy is very good for both domains and hosting, but I also do want to shout out one more for hosting, because I've used them and I love them for hosting, and their name is HostGator. I didn't want to keep them out of the mix because I really like them for their hosting. So personally, if I were to do it myself, and I use for my client, I even use HostGator for my clients, I would do HostGator for hosting and GoDaddy for domain search and purchasing. So that covers finding, purchasing a domain, and getting hosting for your domain. Step number 3 would bring us to website development. And, you know, development, design, same thing. So there's 2 avenues you can take with this. You can do it yourself. It will take time. It is much cheaper to do it yourself. But if you find that your business, that you have other things to do, that, you know, you got this kind of your decision, you have to gauge if it's worth your time to build the site, or if it's worth your time to get someone else to build the site while you do other things. That's totally up to you. I can't really give that answer to you in a broad aspect. I would have to consult with you and tell you which one to do. So your options, if you want to build it yourself. Again, GoDaddy, the fastest builder out there, but my least favorite. GoDaddy, I love them for domains, but I don't like them for website building. Very fast, so you can get a website up and going in minutes. Might be a good idea maybe to put a temporary website up with GoDaddy while you're building another one, if you know it's gonna take you a little while. Might be a good option, but I would not use GoDaddy for long term for websites. The best, if you're doing it yourself, I would say is Wix Builder. Wix Builder, the other reason why I like Wix Builder is because they've implemented custom HTML as well. So you can, and they have a lot of good apps. For example, booking software type app, you know, kind of e-commerce. They have tons of apps. There's hundreds of apps on there that you can choose for different things that you may need, galleries, etc. So I personally like Wix Builder, and it's very versatile. You can do anything on there. It's very custom. You can make it your own. So and their building software is very good. It doesn't glitch much. And yeah, so I really recommend Wix Builder for building a website if you're doing it yourself. And also, if you want, so when you get into Wix Builder, people are kind of wondering, well, how can you get a domain there and build it on there, also get hosting on there and get hosting on Wix Builder? You can easily, because a lot of these guys know, like Wix, know that people are buying domains off GoDaddy. It is very easy to transfer your hosting and your domain from GoDaddy to Wix Builder. And I might make a video on this of how to do it, because a lot of people ask me how. Kind of in your background of your website builder, I should say back office of your website builder, it has the option of, you know, domain and everything. And it gives pretty good directions of how to transfer your domain. So anyways, and hosting. And the second way you can go is to get a developer to make your website. I would recommend this for people who are doing maybe e-commerce for a retail store, or e-commerce for online sales, or a website that has a lot of customization that needs to be done with it and all that. And the reason why is a lot of these developers will use WordPress. And WordPress allows for complete custom coding, which will never be cheap, but it'll be worth it, because usually if you're needing to get a website like that, that's your bread and butter of your company. So do not cheap out on your website if that's the case. please do not cheap out on it. I've seen people do that, and when they come to us and we do consulting with them, that is our most common thing that we have to do. We kind of have to redo their website after they've spent $1,000 on a developer to build a somewhat okay website. Don't be afraid to hear a website cost you $5,000 plus, and that's not ripping you off. That's what it's going to cost. Some people get very turned down by that, but it is it's just what it costs. It doesn't come cheap that way. But if that's what's going to make your business succeed, you're going to want to spend that money on it. So now, the one thing I didn't talk about doing personally, I think you can get a website builder for maybe what, $10 a month or $12 a month. I haven't looked at it for a little while, so don't quote me on that pricing. You know, so it's going to be much cheaper. But if you don't have the skills to do custom coding and all that your website may need, then don't waste your time. So anyways, that's kind of a broad overview of it. Like I said, I want to help people save money on startups. So just a little overview. GoDaddy for your domain. Either GoDaddy or HostGator for your hosting. And if you're going to build it yourself, Wix Builder for website creation, I'm going to call it. The other cool thing I want to say about Wix is that you can actually like go on there and start designing your site without a domain or anything even. You can build your whole website and then bring your domain after the fact. So that's kind of cool. And a little side note, again, GoDaddy, you can build a site in minutes. So maybe spend a little bit of money to get a GoDaddy website up and going while you're building a Wix Builder website. So good idea. Or even if you get a developer to build, maybe go into GoDaddy and get a one set up for now. At least have a contact form, coming soon page, stuff like that. Just keep your clients engaged and everything. So anyways guys, this is the website basics for a startup. And again, I highly recommend that you guys get a website. And if you guys need any help or if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment below. And please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be coming out with 3 to 4 videos a week. All to do with helping business owners of all ages save money and make more money. So again, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Teaching everybody structured education with a class and a syllabus. Give to gaps ridiculous. When I flip the raps like a gymnast. Magnificent. When I'm up in the mix, the beat